I'm here with Marion County Sheriff Jimmy Clements. This is for our weekly Get to Know Your Emergency Workers segments that we're starting here in 2015 here on Central Kentucky Television. We're going to have the opportunity to get to know some of those people who are out there helping us in the community. And we're going to start off with the Sheriff's Department here in Marion County. Now, you have just been re-elected to Sheriff.
Yes.
But this will be your second term.
This will be starting my second term, yes.
As Sheriff, right? How long have you been with the Sheriff's Department?
It was actually Sheriff's Office.
We go
by that. It's Office of the Sheriff. But anyhow, I started in 1996 with the Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And so about 14, 15 years prior, and then elected Sheriff, and here I am.
So what got you involved in being with the Sheriff's Office?
Well, my brother-in-law was Sheriff years ago, and he had talked to me at one point about possibly getting into the Sheriff's Office, and I was at the Marion Adjustment Center at the time, and was really satisfied with the job I had there, and so I decided to stay there. But then in around the first of 1996 or end of 95, first of 96, I was contacted by then Sheriff Carroll Kirkland, and he wanted to know if I was interested in coming on board with him. So I thought about it for a little while, talked to some good friends and family, and we decided that this would probably be a good move for me, and the rest is history.
And here you are.
Here I am.
With your second term so far.
Second term so far as Sheriff.
Now tell us, when we think of the Sheriff's Office,
thank you.
We think of law enforcement, but there's also a lot of different elements to it. So tell us, what are some of the duties that a sheriff and the deputies are responsible for?
Right. Well, you know, all the deputies that work under me, or that I've hired since I've started as the sheriff, I've always told them that, you know, the Sheriff's Office, we kind of different agency than some of the other law enforcement agencies. And, you know, state police, they do a wide range of things. City police agencies do a wide range of things. But really in the middle of that, I believe, and it's always been my belief, is that the Sheriff's Office does everything. And when I say that, it's everything from law enforcement duties to civil service of civil process. Say if things issued out of the courts for you're being sued for something, or a small claims complaint, criminal summonses, warrants, things like that. That falls under the criminal part, but we serve all those types of documents for the courts and for the attorneys around Lebanon and just anywhere that they come from, even out of state. So that's one portion of it also, and then there's all the other things that go along with that. Tax collection, which is very important to the Sheriff's Office because we're a fee-generated office, and that's part of what, you know, we get to keep us operational. Tax collection runs from October into April, and then once that's done, the taxes are then turned over to the county clerk when they're delinquent. So that's another process that we deal with. The other things are everything from prisoner transport, providing security for the courts, which is very big these days. With the new Marion County Judicial Center that opened in, I think it was the summer of 2011, it's made it where our staffing is up because we have the part-time folks that man the security there, and our courts have really just they're running full right now. So I mean we've got a lot of action going on there. So again, there's another aspect of what the sheriff's offices are responsible for. And then you throw in the other things of being a community servant, being out and about in the community, checking on things, making sure people, you know, if they have complaints, and you're trying your best to address them, and we certainly do our best to address them. And I know sometimes folks don't think that maybe we're doing everything we can. Believe me, we really try every day to try to make a difference and make Marion County a better place to live. And I always have this one story because it come full circle for me when I always refer to the sheriff's office does everything. I had a call one day. I was at home, And a lady that I've known for many, many years, she's since deceased, called me and she said, "Jimmy, can you come to my house?" She says, "I have a possum in the house and I can't get him out." So I went over to her house and we found the possum and we was able to wrangle it up without hurting the possum or hurting ourselves. And we got him out of the house and everything was good from there. So that to me, again, shows you what folks, for whatever ranges of reasons, they look to the sheriff's office to assist them. So again, what I always said, again, a story that kind of brought it full circle for me.
Yep. Lots of different areas that you work in then.
Lots of different areas, yes.
Now, you're the sheriff for the county, but you have several deputies. Who are the deputies? How many deputies?
How many deputies? I have I have 5 full-time deputies, and I currently have 2 part-time deputies.
Okay, so total 7.
Yes, and they cover countywide as far as patrol and serving papers and transporting prisoners, and then we have 2 office personnel that just mainly they manage and run the office and the tax division and our civil process as far as those coming in, and then we have our court security, which at this time we have 10.
Okay. So there's 10 in addition to your deputies?
In addition to the deputies, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're not actual sheriff's deputies?
No, they're not. They're not classified as sheriff's deputies. Their official title is court security officers. One of them's full-time and the rest of them are part-time.
Okay. Working over there. Okay. So what would you say is something that most people don't know about the sheriff's department? Sheriff's office. Office of the sheriff. Office of the sheriff.
That's okay.
I'll get it right.
Yeah, and let me tell you the reason we talk in terms of sheriff's office. A dear friend of mine, he's Sheriff John Aubrey with Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. We were at a conference and training one time, and somebody referred to it as Sheriff's Department. And you got to know John. He's a military man. He's a seasoned law enforcement officer with Louisville Metro Police, and then he's been the sheriff there for, I think, his 4th term. And boy, he sure cleaned our clock when he found out that people were referring to as Sheriff's Department, because and he has a valid point that it's the office of the sheriff. It's not a department in the aspect that it would be a division of another agency. So that's the reason we kind of hang our hat on that the sheriff's office. But I'm sorry, what was that question again now?
Besides that sheriff's office of the sheriff, what other aspect of your job do you think people would be or less familiar with or would be surprised to know about?
Well, it's really a hard question to answer, but I guess it would be this: is I don't think for the full knowledge, and that's where something like this is good for folks to understand maybe a little better the sheriff's office, is what we really do, and it is, again, everything. And I can tell you, it was a real eye-opener for me. I worked in corrections for 10 years, and then when I come to the sheriff's office, of what went on in Marion County day and night, around the clock, and some bad, and that's for any county. So I mean, we're not any different than the others. They all 120 counties basically have the same problems we do with crime and drugs and things like that. But it was an eye-opener for me of some of the crime and some of the activity that took place that for the general public, they don't see some of these things. And that's a real eye-opener for again for me. And deputies that I have brought in that worked at in law enforcement at other police agencies or wherever, they see the difference that the sheriff's office and how we try our best to treat people and how people treat them, in return. And it's with respect and dignity, and it's not always pretty. I'll tell you that. But we treat people. We try to treat them right. We do treat them right, I should say. And but sometimes it's still pretty ugly. Sometimes when you have to, even when you're treating people right.
Yes. Now the sheriff's office is open 24/7, correct?
Yes. The sheriff's office in itself, the physical building, our hours are 8 till 4:30 each day.
Right.
Monday through Friday, then a half day on Saturday. We close at noon, and then of course Sunday it's closed. But our office deputies are out working all the time. We have if they're not out, they're on call and available for call. So there's each day and evening there's a deputy designated to respond to whatever call. So no matter what time of day or night you call the sheriff's office, the phone's going to get picked up by our dispatch if it's after hours, and they're going to dispatch a deputy to respond to whatever the complaint may be.
And that's even on holidays?
Even on holidays. We are a full service sheriff's office, and we're proud to say that. And again, our deputies, they strive each day to fulfill that service.
Right. Again, I'm talking with Sheriff Jimmy Clements, who is the Marion County Sheriff, and trying to learn some more about all the different emergency offices around the county. And I learned that it's the office of the sheriff, so that's something good that we learned. Hopefully we're going to meet with some of the other deputies and some of the other agencies throughout our area in the upcoming weeks. This has been Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.